Welcome to the Ghost of Us. A mystical meeting awaits. But first, we need to know who you are. Gazing into your crystal ball, what face do you see? No male options. Sadness. Haunting. Now for a hairstyle as spirited as you. Ah, so that's why the first two options had no jewelry on the top of their head. Does this match your aura? Sure, why not? Iris. Travers. Chapter 1. The Connection. You blink your eyes open in the middle of your local cafe. Everything wreathed in the soft glow of a dream. Something's different. The atmosphere feels charged like a storm is brewing. This doesn't feel like any dream I've had before. As you scan the room, your eyes are immediately drawn to the figure standing across the cafe. Someone you've never seen before. This is a single love interest book. Who do you see? Male option number 1. Let's take a look at the female options, shall we? For those of you who wish that. Okay. There you are. He's wearing a form-fitting teal suit with a low-cut shirt underneath, giving you a teasing peek of his chest. Do I know you? Who cares about the past? You gotta live in the present. His gaze glides across your body as he smirks, sending a pleasant shiver down your spine. And presently, I like what I see. I know you got lines better than that. It's all too easy to let your inhibitions melt away, to enjoy the fantasy you find yourself in. Playing hard to get, huh? It's no fun if you don't have to work for it. Lucky for you, I love a challenge. I'm Gray, but I didn't catch her name, gorgeous. I don't recall offering it. But don't you want to? You're surprised to find he's right. You feel drawn to him. Inexplicably so, getting lost in the depths of his eyes. It's Iris. Iris Travers. So, Iris, what brings a gorgeous woman like you to a place like this? I live right down the street. I'm actually, You hesitate, the lights of the cafe flickering and the chatter around you suddenly going silent. Unnaturally so. You're, I'm a medium. So you talk to ghosts? You go to respond, the temperature of the room drops, the shadows on the floor seemingly to stretch as though reaching out for you. Great. Does something feel off to you? Not at all. I was just thinking everything was just going really well. No, I meant this place. It's like it's barely holding together. You look back at Gray, racking your brain for anything about him that is familiar. Who are you, anyway? How are you in my dream? The ground beneath your feet rumbles like the stomach of a massive beast hungry and hunting. I came to... The sunlight streaming in through the windows abruptly vanishes, as does the glow, casting the whole cafe in shadow. But when you turn back to Gray, there's a pitch black hand wrapped around his mouth, dragging him into the darkness. Gray! You charge into the darkness after him, only to come face to face with a menacing smile. Ooh. Wake up, Iris, wake up! You feel a cold hand on your throat when You jolt awake to find yourself lying in bed, the cozy warmth of your room immediately setting you at ease. Jeez, how lonely do I have to be that I'm literally dreaming about getting to flirt with a total stranger? And then it couldn't even be a normal dream, and to turn into some kind of nightmare at the end. Putting the dream out of your mind, you head downstairs to your shop. Spiritual Connection. Every surface lined with candles, crystals, and plants. Picking up a file on the table, you flip through it, greeted by a number of pictures of a large, smiling family. Let's see here. Carmela Sandoval passed recently at the age of 78. Family hired me to have a final conversation with her. Standard job like this shouldn't be too hard. You lay a couple of sunflowers out around the table, along with one picture from the file before lighting some incense. You take a seat on the couch, an empty chair on the other end. You close your eyes, feeling a familiar warmth blossom in your chest. Carmela Sandoval, if your spirit is with us, I welcome you to join me in this place. A wind chime rings out softly as the smell of roses fills the room. You open your eyes to find a kindly old woman seated across from you. My, what a nice place you have here. That rug would have looked gorgeous in my foyer. Thank you for coming. I'm Iris Travers, and I reached out to you on behalf of your family. My job is to help you connect with your loved ones and to help you move on to the next world, Carmela. Call me Abuela, dear. The only one who still uses my first name is my older brother. Well, Abuela, first things first, we need to figure out what's keeping you here. Do you think it's because you didn't get to do something important, weren't ready to leave your family, or afraid of what comes after? Question 2 and 3 are good. Ready to leave your family, though. I know it can be hard to leave people behind, especially when you've been guiding them for so long. Oh, they've got good heads on their shoulders. They'll be all right without me. And I certainly won't miss arguing with them about bad hospital food and the tacky color of my son's new drapes. Well then, maybe there was something you wanted to tell one of them. She turns her gaze to the photograph sitting on the table, a far-off look in her eyes. My granddaughter. She's getting married soon. I promised her I'd be there. Well, that seems easy enough to accomplish. Your granddaughter's actually the one who contacted me, so I'll just... Abruptly, she goes utterly still, and the temperature around you seems to plummet. Someone's coming. What do you... The connection between you shatters. All the furniture in the room shakes as another ghost appears. Oh, hello, Gray. How are you? Papers fly through the air, tossed about by a gust of wind, while you stare at the ghostly man now standing before you. The same man from your dream. Found you. He smirks at you, his ruggedly handsome face sporting a soft line of stubble. Great, you're here and you're a ghost? Another gust of wind sends objects flying through the air, a coffee cup sailing past you, spilling its contents on your clothes. That's a waste of coffee, in my opinion. Ugh. His form flickers, unstable, and you glare at him, trying not to fall as the room shakes again. This is what happens when you interrupt a connection and don't form a proper one yourself. Quick, tell me. What you're most afraid of? What does that have to do with... Just do it. Spiders, heights, getting peanut butter stuck on the roof of my mouth. That'll have to be good enough. You snatch a piece of jade from the counter, channeling your energy into it as you think on the ghost's words. I just have to anchor him here. Immediately, you feel the ghost's presence tangle up with your own. The ghost's form solidifies as the furniture comes to a rest. Not bad, I guess you are the real deal. You sink to the floor, exhausted. Oh, you have a lot of explaining to do. Our dream date got cut a little short before we even got to the good part. I thought we might pick up where we left off. You're telling me you trashed my shop, ruined my clothes, screwed up my job, just to flirt? You didn't seem too opposed to my flirting last night. Your cheeks heat with frustration and embarrassment. You struggle to speak for a moment. That's when I thought you were part of my dream. You look away, frowning, as you notice the coffee that seeped into your shirt. You need to figure out what happened to Abuela, get back in contact with her. First, I gotta get changed. As you're calling upstairs to your room, you accidentally step through Gray, and a strange tingle rushes through your body, making you flush. Ignore it, you grab a colorful dress, laying it out on your hammock with a matching bag and gold jewelry. You'd look hot as hell in that. He looks from the outfit back to you, and you can feel his gaze as he traces your body. I can picture it already. You know, most ghosts I meet aren't this flirtatious. I lost my life, not my eyes. Now go on, put it on. Your eyes flit between the flowing boohoo outfit and Gray's mesmerizing eyes on you, considering how they'd light up if you wore it. Because it matters what a ghost thinks, just saying. You grab the clothes and bring them with you to the bathroom. Gray groans as you shut the door. You're not gonna invite me in? In your dreams. Or mine. Tease. You quickly get changed, toss your dirty clothes in the hamper, and step back into the room. Gray whistles. Damn, I told you you'd look hot. He looks you over appreciatively, and with the roll of your eyes, you do a twirl. It's like you just finished shooting the cover of Occult Weekly. Assuming that's a thing. It is. And if you're done gawking, I have to get back to work. As you start back for the stairs, Gray darts in front of you, cutting you off. Hang on, what about me? I need your help. Get in line. In case you forgot, I was in the middle of something when you burst in. I need to get Abuela back if I'm gonna get paid for this job. So you lost a couple $100, big deal. Some of us need that money to pay rent, buy groceries. And I'm a Morris in Myers. I'm pretty sure I could buy your house in the grocery store. Your frustration instantly dissipates, replaced with shock. Wait a minute, you're Gray Morrison, the one who's always in the tabloids? Ooh, now I've got to know. Which of my wild antics did you read about? Hard partying, public nudity, vandalism, you name it. Didn't you crash your car? Yep, for good reason. Being drunk is a good reason? He chuckles, lightly shaking his head. I was a little lightly buzzed at worst, but most importantly, I was about to lose to Sonoma's biggest a-hole, Carson Droves. Crashing, better than losing any day, especially if it means you can steal the headline. Tell that to your race car. So what if I love causing a bit of scandal? You should try it sometime. I can show you how. No offense, but I try not to take advice from dead party boys. Even if they do happen to run the most successful winery in town. He flourishes his hand, gesturing at his body. I don't run anything. I might be handsome as ever, but I am, in fact, dead. Though in fairness, I didn't run in anything when I was living either. You stare at him, unamused, though there's something about his self-satisfied grin that brings heat rushing to your cheeks. But my family's side hustle is not why I'm here. Look, I already told you. Oh, come on, I know you want to help. Isn't that the whole reason you do the whole medium thing? I do it because having psychic powers is rad as hell. No, it's not. Ask anyone who actually has them, and they're actually not rad. They're actually a real pain in the ass. Helping people is the right thing to do. I was given a gift that very few have. It wouldn't be right to squander it or ignore it. Not when I make such a big difference. Oh, a little goody two-shoes for my taste, but it's all the more reason for you to help me out, and we both know you wanna. Even with the flirting, Gray, you aren't the only ghost in need. Well, I'm certainly the most important. Irritation blooms anew in your chest and you can't help but scowl. You want my help? Then you can start by fixing the mess you made. Without waiting for his response, you march back down the stairs, sighing when he sinks through the ceiling to join you. But he couldn't sink through the door to see you dress and undress. Okay. Man, this place is trash. Don't you have people to clean it up? Oh, yes. Let me call my maid. You stop abruptly, your eyes falling on one of your crystals on the counter, its center glowing a dull green. Great. Just great. Looks like you didn't just interrupt my connection with Abuela when you showed up. You also set loose a mischief spirit. I've got to track it down before it causes any real trouble, and you're going to help me because you set it free. You hurry out onto the street, Gray behind you as you use the crystal's pull to guide you in the right direction. I'm not going to pretend I understand much of that, but what is a mischief spirit anyway? They're manifestations of pure emotion, rage, sorrow, or in this case, rebellion. I like this spirit already. I'm a rebel myself, you know. I'm not sure it counts as a rebellion when you can just buy your way out of trouble. The crystal pulses in your hand, leading you to a park full of tripped-over trash cans. At the center of it all, a small orb-like spirit laughs. And standing nearby, trying to grab it, is Abuela. That's quite enough of that. They must have both gotten sent here when you broke the connection. See? Told you I'd help. You didn't even... With another giggle, the spirit goes rushing past you, nearly knocking you off your feet, and Abuela is quick to join you. Oh, good, Iris, you're here. It just won't listen to me. I say let it go. It's only making the place livelier. It's littering one of your rich person hobbies or something. To stop it, we just need a distraction. Like you, Gray. You think I'm distracting, huh? You roll your eyes as you plaster a fake smile on your face. Oh, yes. Now, do I need to flutter my eyelashes, or are you actually going to make the distraction for me? It wouldn't hurt. Lucky for you, I just so happen to love being the center of attention. Honestly. You hold out the same crystal that led you here. The spirit abruptly freezes. Okay, at least it's not causing any more trouble. I'm so sorry about that, Abuela. Oh, don't fret, dear. I know who's responsible. Well, it turns to Gray with a frown, and you can't help but laugh as he shrinks a little. I see you're still getting yourself into trouble, Gray Morrison, even after death. Trouble is my middle name. Hang on, do I know you? I used to work for your family when you were just a boy. I do hope you aren't making things more difficult for this nice young lady. He's been nothing but difficult. He's trashed my shop. He's been pestering me ever since. I can't say I'm surprised. It's all part of my charm. Not, now as much as I love talking about myself, she probably should do something about that. He nods at the mischief spirit, still frozen in the air, humming quietly. Well, the quick and dirty method would be to disperse the energies. You mean you're just gonna kill it? Can't you help it move on like you do with other ghosts? I could. It would be nice to bring it some peace. That's all any of us want. It's stuck here, Iris, just like I am. And it's my fault, so... He reaches for you, the immaterial form of his hand brushing against your shoulder, making your skin tingle. Let me try and make this right. I didn't expect him to care this much. Maybe there's more to him than he's letting on, and helping the spirit might reveal some of it. If we can fulfill the spirit, I'll be able to help it move on. But in order to do that, we have to create some mischief. Oh, damn, Iris, why didn't you lead with that? His grin is infectious, and then your stomach flips as he looks at you. I'd love to get up with some mischief with you. Help the mischievous spirit move on. Well, since you're apparently an expert, Gray, where should we start? He scans the park, pausing as he takes a note of a few people and points them out. Well, there's a dog over there that looks like it's ready to bolt. Kid playing hide and seek would be easy to scare. Though personally, I'd go for the two people in the grass who clearly can get up the courage to kiss. Sometimes young love needs a bit of a push. Let's give the couple a shove. You sure you're up for that? Hey, I do know how to have fun. Gray raises an eyebrowing challenge. Prove it. Shooting Gray a glare over your shoulder, you walk past the couple and accidentally bump into them. Oh. Their lips meet from the force, and the man jerks back, stumbling over his words. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't... Don't be. I actually been waiting and wanting you to kiss you all day. With a shake of your head, you make your way back to Gray and Abuela. See? It's just as I said. Look at you, Iris, a matchmaker and a medium. I'm not adding that to my business card. I can't remember the last time I got up to something like this. Perhaps in my youth. Now that I wish I could have seen. You look over with their mischief spirit is still frozen in place, and with a deep breath, you release it. It swirls around you, Gray and Abuela weaving between your heads. I don't think that worked. Perhaps it's not enough for us to mess with other people. The spirit bumps your shoulder and a giddy, playful energy rushes through you. You're right. It wants to mess with us. Any suggestions? Why don't we... run around in our underwear. Show off your worst dance moves. Only if you go first. Don't mind if I do. The sprinkler never fails. Oh, God. And with one hand behind your head, you use the other to imitate a sprinkler, twisting your body along with it. These old bones aren't what they used to be, but I'll give it a whirl. Abuela points her finger at the sky and brings it down to her hip, back up, doing a rather impressive disco. Alright, Gray, let's see what you got. The worm. The worm, you don't mean in one swift motion. Gray is on his stomach, uses his arms to bring his body up and down like a worm. The mischief spirit glows brighter with energy, its aura tickling your skin. You've had your fun, little one. It's time to go now. You close your eyes and reach out, bring the little ball of energy in your palms, tremors of its power run through you. Your task fulfilled, your destiny sealed. The other side awaits, finally revealed. The spirit fades away in a beautiful shimmer of light, a wave of peace filling the air as it does. How lovely. You glance at Gray's expression unreadable and offer him a tentative smile. Not gonna make fun of my rhyming incantation, Gray? It's a little cheesy, but it felt right somehow. You hold his gaze for a moment, and he shakes his head, breaking the spell. Honestly, I wasn't sure you had it in you, workaholic, rule follower that you are. But it seems like you do know how to have a good time. Gray. There's a time and a place for fun. Indeed, as long as you remember to make time for it, my dear. Being a medium is serious business. You have to cut loose sometimes for your own sanity. It can't be good to be around all this depressing stuff all day. You shrug non-committally, ignoring the way his eyes still linger on you. Thank you, both of you, for helping with the spirit. I was ready to send it away, but this was a much better solution. If it involves watching you embarrassing yourself, I'm always happy to help. Here I thought you hadn't changed, Gray, but I think you may have gotten worse. You turn to Abuela, though Gray still lurks in the periphery, drawing your attention. Abuela, I want you to know I'm committed to helping you move on, but since we already know what you need in order to do that... Of course, I understand if you've got your hands full with that one. I'll contact your granddaughter and find time when we can all meet.
Just call out to me when you're ready, and I'll be there.
There's a soft shimmer in the air, like a staring at heat coming off the asphalt. Abuela fades from view. You cross to another part of the park, are eager to leave behind the chaos caused by the mischief spirit. Okay, we've dealt with the mischief spirit, we tracked down Abuela. Now are you going to finally help me? You can't help but chuckle as Gray once again floats in front of you. Patience is a virtue, you know? I don't have very many of those. Alright, well, if we're going to figure out what you need to move on, it would help to know more about how you died. I don't actually remember. His expression falls, forehead creasing, but a moment later he's shaking his head and smiling. But seeing as I'm a celebrity, I bet the paper has something on my death. Let's find out. You approach a coin-operated newsstand at the edge of a park, your eyes falling immediately on a familiar name. Listen, they still have those? Gray Morrison, found dead. I guess you were right. Gray Morrison, found dead after a raucous party. I couldn't have even bothered putting my picture on the front page. Rude. But when you turn to him, there's a far-off look in his eyes that's instantly broken when you start to speak. Still nothing? I remember the party, but it all feels fuzzy. You reach into your bag and pull out your well-loved tarot deck, the weight of the cards sending a wave of peace over you. Maybe these can help. How are cards gonna help? They're tarot cards. They can help us narrow down what was important in your life. Being a medium means I have other psychic abilities too. The cards can help channel them, though sometimes I get straight-up premonitions. You're telling me you can see the future and you haven't used it to manipulate the stock market? Unfortunately, the hints are usually vague. It's next to impossible to unravel them until after the fact. That sounds frustrating. It's... a fun challenge. We'll go with that. It's also frustrating. You shrug, smiling to yourself. Easy is boring, don't you think? Now, that's something we can agree on. Normally, to help you move on, I just talk to someone else or close to you and get them to share memories, challenges, that sort of thing. You wouldn't get much help from my family anyway. I'm surprised my parents even let the article get published. Well, the cards should still be able to give us some guidance on that front. Who to talk to and what about? The cards can tell you all that. Not exactly. The cards can often reveal parts of ourselves we miss or shed new light on issues we've been dealing with. I'll have you draw 3. 1 for your past, 1 for your present, and 1 for your future. Then, you'll have to share what comes to mind when you look at them. Sounds like you're just looking for an excuse to get to know more about me. He waggles his eyebrows playfully and you frown. Why do you keep doing that? The flirting? There's a flicker of uncertainty in his eyes, like you've seen a crack in his mask, but you blink and it's gone. It's hard not to when I'm around such a beautiful woman. Now, are you going to show me your mystical... psychic... sorry, your psychic powers? For the sake of getting to know one another. I can't remember the last time I saw a ghost in my dreams. There's definitely more to Gray than he's letting on. Hopefully the cards can explain. But of course they can. You quickly pay for the newspaper before nodding your head to the other side of the park. Come on, we need a table. Ladies first. With a roll of your eyes, you take a seat at the picnic table, laying the cards out on top of it. Normally, I'd have you shuffle, but since you can't actually touch the cards, try hovering your hand in the deck for a minute. Just something to attune it to you. Gray does as he asks, and you do your best not to stare at him as he does. Alright, I think I've gotten my ectoplasm all over these cards. Gross. You shake your head, amused, as you begin shuffling the cards with practiced ease. Tell me when to stop. Gray tilts his head to the side, looking at you intently. Hey, at least Pixelberry got that correctly about needing the cards you to touch them to attune them. I give you 1 point. Do you actually believe in all this magic stuff? We're supposed to be learning about you here. Humor me. I think there's magic all around us. If I can see ghosts, then who knows what else is out there? Prophets who know the future, people with telepathy, anything is possible. If special powers were that common, the rest of the world would know about them. Sometimes you have to see something happen to really believe it. You spread the cards across the table, feeling the energy swirl in your chest. Like I said earlier, we're just doing a simple past, present, future reading, otherwise we'll be here all day. Trying to get rid of me already? In case you hadn't noticed, I've been trying. You flip the first card over and teasing energy instantly disappears as you're overwhelmed with sadness and loneliness. 5 of Cups, the past card. The 5 of Cups. I'm feeling negative emotions. Something in your past caused you great despair. It's pretty vague. It could apply to anyone. This is also true. It's not supposed to give you answers, Gray, but it will give you ideas to share. It's hard to know where to start sometimes. Maybe you want a final word with whoever caused you this despair. You're lucky you're so pretty. Otherwise, I'd never fall for this. His eyes roam from the card in your palm up to your neck. Until they meet yours, your heart skips a beat. What do you think the card is referring to? It represents the past. 5 of Cups. Your relationship with your parents, maybe. Gray shrugs, feigning disinterest. I never got along with them, and I don't care what they think. They did raise you, though. I get the feeling there's a lot more to it than you're letting on. There isn't. I've always been a disappointment to them, and life got so much better after I quit trying to live up to their impossible standards. He scowls as he turns away so you can't see his expression. Life was better. You've seen hundreds of ghosts in your years, many tragic, but something about Gray's pain makes your heart ache. Alright, maybe this isn't about your parents then. Let's see if another card can shed any more light. Death. The present card. Gray scoffs as you flip over the card, and there's a bitter edge to his voice even as he smirks. A little on the nose, don't you think? The death card doesn't represent physical dying. Those cards are rarely straightforward. Seems pretty straightforward to me. My present, yep, I'm super dead. Who's the medium here? He waves to you as though giving you the floor, and you chuckle. It's more about change. Starting new, becoming someone different. But I don't think you're wrong about this standing in for your actual death, with your change into a ghost being a new beginnings of sorts. You look back down at the cards as you flip the final one. The Fool, the future card. What are you trying to... Again, it isn't literal. This card also implies new beginnings. You're used to living in the moment, but that's what is holding you back from progressing. And how would you suggest I progress, Ira, seeing as I'm dead? Gray. Moving on is progressing. That's the next step after life and after being a ghost. Gray props his chin in his hand. Do you know what it looks like there? Small circle curves your face as you feel warmth wash over you. No, but I've seen lots of ghosts cross over, and I can feel how at peace they are when they do. Gray's features soften and he appears thoughtful. But a few seconds later, he smirks conspiratorially, his cocky demeanor firmly back in place. You know, you've gotten to learn so much about me. I still hardly know anything about you. Why don't you pick a card? I'll predict your future. That's not how this works. Sounds like someone is scared. Of you, hardly. We'll do the right. You flip the card quickly and it slides across the table. The Three of Swords, your future card. Three of Swords, judging by that picture, I'd say you're going to get stabbed in the heart 3 times to be exact. I see you're really diving deep into these readings. You chuckle as you pick up the card, but your face falls as the ache it causes in your chest. This card actually represents loss. Perhaps there's a ghost who will be impacting my life more than I expect. Well, I tend to have that effect on people. You turn your attention back to the 3 cards laid on the table, the ones from Gray's reading. Looking at all these cards together, it seems like the person or event that caused you great despair is tied to your death, and that you won't be able to move on and start the next chapter until you resolve it. Well, what do you know? This was fun and enlightening. We should get back to the shop if we want to keep looking into this. I don't mix business and pleasure. Gray's eyes light up and a grin spreads across his face. Oh, so this was a pleasure. Your face heats as smirk enough to make butterflies appear in your stomach. Can a girl enjoy a nice day with a gorgeous man without it being a big deal? But as you gather the cards back up, Gray's expression falls, staring at the 5 of Cups again. Water. Huh? There was water when I died. His expression is far away. You pull the newspaper back out and stomach sinking as you read the article. The prodigal scion of the Morrison Empire was found dead in his pool after a night of heavy drinking. As the words leave your mouth, you feel a pit in your stomach. One that only seems to keep growing until it threatens to consume you. Gray, is there a chance that your death was violent somehow? Even just reading this paper, I can feel pain and suffering. It's intense. You take in a ragged breath, keeping your eyes focused on Gray as he slowly nods, the pain you feel reflected in his expression. It's starting to come back to me. I drowned. I stumbled out to the pool. I could hardly see anything. Then I fell. Wait, no, someone pushed me. His features harden and your hair stands on end as the sudden rush of anger sweeps out from him. I think I was murdered. Yay! Woohoo! Alright, well. We started a new book. Sorry about being a little late, but basically I'm fighting something off. I don't know. Could be like a sinus eye thing. So, today I kind of have just stayed in bed, But without further ado, let me know in the comment section below down what you think of the book so far. Hopefully you did enjoy. With that being said, if you did, please support the channel through any means of liking, sharing, making sure to subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. And please help me to have this community grow, right? We have thousands and thousands of videos, hundreds of books, but not just books, but gameplays, reviews, things to make you smile, things to make you think. I've put so much effort and time into this channel that it would be greatly appreciated that if you would just share it and have other people support it. There's 8 billion people on this planet, and we've only touched a tiny little percentage of the world. Not even 1%. So it'd be great if we could continue to grow this community that we have. That's all that I ask for, really, is helping me out do that. Aside from that, I'll get up the other chapters as soon as possible. But thanks for watching. Catch y'all later. Peace out.